Yeah, we's up. We got a show today. We're going to talk about Ryan Clark getting fired mid-show by ESPN. Obviously, that is breaking news, huge news. Also, Max Kellerman telling Rich Paul how the Lakers brand may and is falling off, especially in Los Angeles itself. We'll break that down. Draymond Green responds to all the critics who say if LeBron joins the Golden State Warriors, what the hell you gonna do? What's your role? All right, we'll get into that. Kendrick Perkins breaks down athletes and how they have preferences and their mindset when the schedule's released. I think that's really pertinent because right now we're about to see the NFL cats already reporting to camp and getting ready. How we respond to that. Also, want to get to LeBron, who is not rushing his decision, and how people are mad at him, including Mad Dog. So we'll get into that. Jason Whitlock goes at Tom Brady and says, "This is not goat-like behavior. You're acting foolish." So all those things. And if we have a little time, we go to 5 teams in the NFL that won't. And I said won't make the NFL playoffs, or even more importantly, let's just say they won't win the Super Bowl. So let's get into that. All right, y'all. I see y'all in here. Let's get it in. It's early in the morning. Oh, boy, boy, boy. All right, Ryan Clark. Let me preface everything I'm about to say about Ryan Clark. Let me give you some backstory because I know a lot of people think that he's a blood and I'm a Crip. They really want us to bang on each other. The origin story, just I was at Fox, Ryan Clark at ESPN at the time. Ryan Clark did not like the fact that I was talking about Khyree Richardson. And this is, I think, the Khyree Richardson time when she got caught with the marijuana or she got the positive drug test. And then she said it was about her mom, etc. So that's our origin story. Ryan Clark decides to tweet something at me. And then he, corralled the posse, which includes Quincy Avery, who is a trainer. He trains guys, throwing motions. I think he got Deshaun Watson, some other guys. So respect for him. I didn't know who he was at the time. Obviously, he's not on my fave list now. He takes a lot of shots at me. All good. I see them all. I'm here for you, big dog. Just make sure you go give me some Gatorade. Let me stop. Go get some Gatorade, damn it. Tell me how my elbow look when I'm throwing the ball, damn it. Like, go give me a towel or something. No, let me stop. I got these jokes. So that's it. That's how it started. So you know me, I'm going to shoot back. I'm like, dog, you can't be defending her based on the merits. It must be just because she went to LSU. Of course it was. And she's black. Of course it was. And I was like, all right, well, that's your lane. This is my lane, dog. I'm just going to tell the truth. If somebody went to Columbia, I still would call them out if it was necessary. And if somebody black, I got to call them out that it's necessary. You calling me out and I'm black. So weird. Like, he like, oh, why are you looking at, won't you look out for the sister? I was like, won't you look out for the brother? Anyway, Emmanuel Acho got in the middle of it. It was what it was. That continued to snowball all the way through. I must say, though, I am a big fan of Ryan Clark. And I've said that thousands of times. I'm sure it gets drowned out by the few times I got to go at him when I used to notice he would race bait. And that's just what it is. So I'm not going to run from that. I just saw Ryan Clark maybe 2 months ago. Spoke to him. He didn't want to speak back. All right. Fred Taylor's my former teammate and my dog. I talked to him right next to him. Shannon Crowder, I like him. He knows that. We talked right next to him. Ryan didn't want to speak. That's it. There's no more to it. There's no more tension. I look forward to, I told you guys, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf in terms of how I look at these things because there's so much misinformation out there when it comes to like Ryan Clark and I ain't got no problem with Ryan Clark. You ever been in a situation somebody don't like you? Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean you got to hate them. That's all that is. Now, since all of that is known, I know y'all going to forget it and still think I don't like the dude. It is what it is. We're going to break this thing on down to the very last compound because yesterday, mid-show, they fired Ryan Clark. Yeah, Ryan Clark was actually doing NFL Live, Emmy Award-winning NFL Live, the same one I used to do, and we never won an Emmy. So shout out to Ryan Clark and the crew for doing that. And then they decide that enough is enough. Now, the reason they said they did that, let's let Acho go first because I think Acho got an exhaustive one. The reason they said they did that is because they wanted to beat the breaking news. They wanted to beat the leaks. I understand that and I don't understand that. That sounds good, but that doesn't land. It sounds good because if you want to beat the breaks and breaking news, you want to beat the leaks. Do it before the show. Do it that morning. You know when you already said, all right, he's getting fired. Let's protect this. Let's not make sure that no one knows it's the Athletic. Make sure this doesn't get out to the New York Times, all that. You know when you did that. Whenever that was, that's when you either A, approach him, or B, you jeopardize what will end up happening. Breaking news, leaks, and he in on the nose. So let's get into it. Let's see what Acho got to say about it. And you know I got tons. When I say tons of things to talk about with this topic, let's get it in. All right. Yeah.
Executives are cowards. That is my reaction. Executives are cowards. It is one thing to fire a man. If you work long enough, you will get fired regardless of your profession. But to fire a man that helped bring a show its very first Emmy Award in the midst of that show is cowardly. On NFL Live. NFL Live, a show that's for the last 2 years won back-to-back Emmy Awards for best daily sports show. Y'all know how many daily sports shows there are in the world, many of which you watch and even more that you don't watch. And they have objectively been voted on 2 years straight for having the best one.
Okay, let's stop right there. First of all, it's not objective if they vote. It's not objective. It's subjective. But I know what he's saying. He's saying, look, they got the accolade. They got the achievement. They got the hardware. But that's still not objective because it's a voting subjectively by people. That said, Ryan Clark kills it. Ryan Clark kills it in his analysis. Ryan Clark kills it in terms of how he used to speak on the game, speak into the game, go deeper than the top layer, all those things. I remember meeting Ryan Clark when he first started auditioning. He was still an active player. I don't know what years this is. It's like 2009, 2012. I don't know, that world. And he used to just come in on his breaks from playing ball, and he would come in during the bye week, stuff like that. I called him Stringer Bell. I was like, Stringer Bell, because he looked like Stringer Bell to me. I was like, oh, you clean? You look like that dude? All right, go ahead. And he was nailing it, articulate, all that stuff. That said, here's what happened to Ryan Clark, I could tell you initially. Everywhere there's a middle class, except in really America, ain't no middle class no more, right? It's just rich or poor. But in reality, we all know there's a middle class. It's the same thing in media. There's a middle class in media. And typically the one that's in the middle class has a choice to make. Your choice is either A, go with the flow that you know will help you grow, which is at a time it was Skip Bayless, being a contrarian no matter what, or sticking to your guns no matter what. You know, you think the Cowboys are amazing, even if they're 0-16, 0-17, right? That kind of stuff. I hate Westbrook no matter what he does, even if he drops 60 and never misses a shot. Like that was one script that they were passing out, let's say mid-2000s. And if you take that script, guess what happens? You know you're going to get a bump. You may not become Skip Bayless, obviously, but you're going to close the gap. Middle class is thinking that. He riding down the middle. He being Ryan Clark at first. Because I remember day one, Ryan Clark. I remember Ryan Clark going at Stephen A. Smith. Y'all can see some of the old clips. We ain't going to go through everything. It's not going to be that exhaustive. Ryan Clark going at Stephen A. Smith. And then all of a sudden, that middle class guy is either A, I'm going to take that script, or B, I'm going to take a different script. And we all know what happened in the 2010s. A lot of racially motivated things. Colin Kaepernick, George Floyd. It just seemed like ESPN turned a different page in terms of their politics and openness with it. And then it had to be liberal. It couldn't be conservative. You remember going back in the days where you just couldn't have both sides in the balance, all that stuff. Stephen A. Smith was even getting caught up in the wash. You remember that? Stephen A. Smith, Terrell Owens conversation, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman dynamic, all of that was just shifting. So Ryan Clark saw another script out there. And that's when I saw Ryan Clark start to shift. I said, okay, so he gonna ride that pander of I'm gonna make things racially motivated. I'm gonna look at things through a racially colored lens, even if they don't deserve it, even if they don't need it, or my loyalties and alliances. So he became a big loyalty card. LSU, black people, sisterhood, etc. All right. The thing about it is that's actually disappointing. It's not just that. It's because those condiments he kept adding to the meat and potatoes messed up the meat and potatoes, because his meat and potatoes deserves to not only be rewarded, He wanted the top to do it. But most people couldn't sift through that. Once he started race baiting, he lost a whole big population. Be real. Those people started to love to hate him. I'm over here criticizing him because I'm highlighting what he's saying. And what he's saying, I don't care who you are. You kind of got to be like, yeah, that don't make sense, dog. That I'll give you a clip, and I'll give you the worst clip that he ever had. We're going to play that later. And this is what really drove the dagger. This is what really got Ryan Clark up out of there. And it's the Peter Schrager one. I ain't trying to make y'all string y'all along like that. But I'm going to give you the elements that really did it. I don't think a lot of people are pointing out what the biggest problem with that is. So we'll get into that. So that's who Ryan Clark was. Ryan Clark had a choice to make. Be Ryan Clark or, put a little more makeup on this guy and see what happens with it.
And you're going to fire an anchor of that show, not just an anchor of that show. Y'all just now about to have a Super Bowl. That's why you got Troy Aikman. That's why you came out here from Fox and you got our talent. And Ryan Clark is on that Monday night show. Fire that man. So to me, it is cowardly to fire a man in the midst of him working for a show that he has built up to Emmy level and Emmy quality.
Okay, let me tell you why they did it that way. If we're going to go with, hey, this is with bad intentions. We trying to embarrass you. We trying to let this be a splash. I know about that. Like, there's a way you do things. This is what therapists always tell you. The way something is done is really telling you how they felt about it. Because getting it done is easy. You can get it done by just, hey, let me send a text to Ryan. Hey, come in my office before your show, Ryan. Hey, I called your agent before it happened, Ryan. Like, so don't ever get twisted into, oh, man, they fired him. That ain't the issue. Because they fire people all the time. All the time. Acho's talking about it right now. However, the way they do it is the way that they want you to know how they felt dealing with your ass all that time. You get it? I'm going through that right now in my real life. Everybody gets divorced, at least more than half people. It ain't that, it's how you made me feel. Now, we got to talk through that as we're going to talk through this. So the way they did it was to embarrass him. The way they did it was reckless on purpose. Right? They know that if they go up there and then in the middle of the show, I just take him or tell him something or he leaves, that's going to be huge news. We're in this attention currency where it doesn't matter how it comes. People are accepting it, and most people are out there actually raising their hand trying to get it. I saw some girl just literally post a video yesterday. She said, yeah, I had a one-night stand with some basketball player or rapper, Gunna. Yeah, and she I'm like, just for the attention. So the way she did it, it ain't about messing with them because everybody having sex. It's what you did, how you did it. So Ryan Clark, I hate to say it, the big dog, they were out to get you, not fire you, get you.
I fully understand firing somebody. You got to fire somebody, you got to fire somebody. Bet we all going to get fired. At least I have. I'll speak for me. I can't speak for nobody else. You get fired. But it's another thing to fire somebody in the midst of a show. To me, that's repulsive as cowardly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, people get fired every day. But what I don't understand is, all these other opportunities to fire Ryan Clark. Why are you firing while he was on air? I don't understand that. At the old show, I heard that, Acho and his homies got fired on air. I wasn't there. I knew it was about to happen. Yeah, what's about to happen? Okay, I will not be.
It's a true story. It's a true story.
But that's true story. But my thing is just like, and I don't have anything said bad about ESPN because I don't know all the particulars of what really happened. But I do know this, is that Ryan Clark is really, really good on TV, right? And I think a lot of viewership, they love to see Ryan Clark. He's one of the guys, he's an ex-player that speaks and gives you the insight of what a player goes through. So I just don't understand why they fired him while he was on air. That's kind of wild to me. I'm sure that we'll get the real story eventually soon because he'll speak his piece and let everyone know what really happened.
Yeah, no, firing someone.
I can tell you why they did it this way. The way that they're going to justify it emotionally, right? This is the way that they're going to validate it. Whether they're never probably going to say this. It makes no sense to say this. But knowing based off of the actions what the mentality had to be. Things are bigger than ball. Like, as much as I love football, as much as you love sports, as much as we all love all this, there are things that are bigger, correct? We all know that. And when you start to disturb those things, that harmony, that flow, those elements, you got to look out. You got to duck. Because what Ryan Clark was doing was amazing sports analyst. Analysis in sports, he was an amazing sports analyst. Great analysis. However, it's bigger than ball. So the times where you swerved off the reservation, they felt, and went there and start talking about issues, and then not only talking about bigger issues, it's okay to talk about bigger issues at your own peril. If you notice the people who last there the longest, they're the ones who don't really go there, right? Now, Stephen A. Smith is an exception because Stephen A. Smith is smart. One, he carved out his own lane. Two, he also top dog. Three, he went independent, so he gets away with a lot of stuff that is not on ESPN Watch. Being real, litigation could occur if ESPN starts to look at Stephen A. Smith in the independent space and try to put that on his record while he's at Disney. Just letting y'all know how it goes behind the scenes. In part, why people are doing the hybrid. I want to do independent and do major media because then you can play both ways. Anyway, there are exceptions to the rule like a Stephen A. Smith, but if you are middle class, and Ryan Clark was still middle class, let's not forget Ryan Clark on his last deal, they weren't going to renew it. Do you remember that? Do you remember that Ryan Clark on his last deal went to his own independent platform and did videos about how he wanted to be valued and he wanted his worth? And I'm going to tell you how it was felt, how it was read, because the same thing happened with Shannon Sharpe at Fox previously. They look at that, especially when you kind of give little droppings of discrimination, not my right, proper value. I wonder why. It's thinly veiled that they're discriminating / maybe even being racial. Simple. That's how executives look at it. It's how entities look at it. Corporations look at it. And you're forgetting, if you're Ryan Clark, if they fire me possibly or not giving me my proper value or giving me my right contract because of my race, you forget they hired you and you still were that same race. So it's illogical on his head, but it's also a nuisance to these executives. And some of those executives are black. Don't get it twisted. They ain't all white. There are black executives who sitting there too, like, that ain't the reason, bruh. You know, it's just simply not the reason. So you get yourself in a pretzel when you start to do all those shenanigans.
While they're in the middle of a workday, a little crazy, especially when they're doing their job to the best of their ability. It does seem crazy.
Let me provide some nuance. Again, we're going ha kiki. That's the show. I'm gonna laugh at myself. Y'all can laugh at me in the chat. Throw tomatoes. Do all the things. Last year, true story, I find out that our show's getting canceled. Me, Shady, James Jones, Chase Daniel. I find out our show's getting canceled like 5 days before it gets canceled. But we found out in reality on social media. The executives never told us first. My representatives told me first. That's how I found out. Hey, Acho, this is about to happen. Keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody. Funny enough, obviously, Shady, my dog. So with all due respect, I talked to my dog, but keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody. Executives did not tell us that we were getting fired. We found out on Twitter in a post-show meeting. True story. And Rome is my witness in the back. He was with me at the last show. Shout out my dog, Rome.
Shout out to producer Rome.
After every show, we do a post-show meeting. Post-show meeting to prepare for the next show. That's how it goes down. You do the show, you do a post-show meeting. We're in the post-show meeting, ha-ha and kiki. Hey, what y'all want to talk about tomorrow? All right, yeah, let's talk about Eagles, repeat Super Bowl champs, bet. As the executive is upstairs, we get tweets and texts. And oh my God, you know, the facility getting canceled, getting canceled. Didn't even tell, bruh, true story. James had left because only I did the post-show meeting. Shady, James Jones, Chase didn't have to do post-show meeting. I did the post-show meeting.
Let me stop right there. Okay, I understand what Acho is saying. And look, these are fact-based statements. Obviously, others are there to corroborate it. At the same time, let me just speak up. As on this show, we balance things out. Let me speak up why executives don't do it themselves. One, you don't ever want to be in a position of authority and power and be the judge, jury, executioner. It sounds good to be the judge, jury, executioner, except it comes with its own set of issues that you sooner than later will remove yourself from. I give you an example. Roger Goodell when he first came into office. When he first got there, Roger Goodell got drunk off his power and decided to be judge, jury, executioner. Everything that came across the NFL table, from growing the game, partnerships, brand marketing, sponsorships, also discipline. Remember that? And I remember it live because I don't know where I was working. I think that's ESPN days. I'm like, yo, he is messing up his own brand because he's doing too much. Why are you disciplining cats? Won't you hire somebody who is the face of discipline? And all you got to do is before the press conference, you go up to him, which ends up being like Troy Vincent, right? He ends up doing that. And even if he had that role, he wasn't empowered. I said, empower somebody to take on the discipline. Why is the commissioner of the NFL sitting up there talking about Ray Rice? No. My job is to just grow this game. So all you got to do is say, hey, Troy, come here. We got a 2-game suspension. Oh, he's banned for a year. Whatever you got to say, you do it. So why now take that example to Fox executives, ESPN executives? Why they not walking in the meeting room just saying, hey, man, it was been great. I love you, but you got to go. You ain't got to go home. You got to get out of here. Why would they do that? That's how you get drunk off your power. Your role is not that, and it will come back to haunt you. Now, Roger Goodell, who has grown the game at least 4x since I've been playing. I told you guys thousands of times how I got comps. Joey Bosa and I had the same amount of sacks when we got our contracts. He got 123 million. I got 40. That's 3x, and it's gone more since then. So it's like 4x. Huh? And that guy is over there getting booed every time you see him. You know why he's getting booed? Because people ain't forgot about Ray Rice. They ain't forgot about Colin Kaepernick, etc. That's why executives don't step in it.
James had left 2-5. He forgot something. His badge didn't work, Shady. I swear to God, Shady, I can't make this up.
That fast?
Swear that fast. His badge did not work when he was coming back to get something. He didn't know we'd been fired yet. He hadn't got called by the executive. So James was trying to figure out, why my badge don't work.
Like the Jamal Adams meme.
Just straight up and down. He's trying to figure out, why the hell don't my badge work? Because you got fired and deactivated and execs didn't tell nobody. Craziest piece is, everybody that would be like, hey, morning, Acho. Hey, you want your same coffee, Acho? Ach, what you need? As soon as you get fired, act like you dead, like you got the plague. Like, yeah, man. Like some wild stuff. To the point where I sent my team in to collect my clothes. Like I'm not finna, y'all not finna play me. And then there came a point where the executive was like, hey, Emmanuel, we want to call you, talk about, I don't need you to call me. I already saw I got fired. So like, what if you want to call me before Twitter notifies me. Yeah. This ain't about me. This is about Ryan. Why did they?
Okay, let's just wrap up. It is about you because you made it about you, as you should. It's your show. I love it. I went through the same thing. I wasn't fired. I was given an offer that was just too low to take. More importantly, unwarranted for that value. So I didn't do a Ryan Clark video. I didn't go back and start crying about it, and I didn't throw a fit. I just went back and forth in negotiations, said, if this is where we are, this is where we are. And it's not just money. It wasn't just the money. The money was like a quarter of what I was making. More importantly, it was starting to add some travel. And I was like, I'm not going to leave LA. I don't want to leave LA, etc. So it's a whole different conversation. A lot of difference in that. But the similarities are, we can't be emotional about these executive decisions. You can to yourself, but you can't in terms of business industry and how you look at them. They're making a decision, and they're making that decision, even though it may be something they feel or disagree with by committee, they say we got to do it. And if we got to do it, my heart ain't in it, but it's still going to happen. So you need to respond like, okay, this is an inanimate decision. This ain't a decision that got a heartbeat. This decision is just being made. You don't believe me? Pat McAfee is up for a deal, as they say, up to $60 million. Obviously, that's a lot of money. He got to pay his whole staff, his whole crew, etc. Point being, $60 million. So stop thinking that they got to talk to you and walk with you and look out for you, because what they know is, one, we got the money. Like if you're Ryan Clark right now, I hope you're not telling yourself a lie that, oh man, I got fired because I made too much, or I got fired. You got fired because people get fired. The only people I see survive these things are the top dogs, Skip Bayless, Colin Cowherd, when they were at Fox peak powers. We know what undermined Skip, the lawsuit and the Shannon Sharp situation. And he still lasted a year after all that, right? Right? After the Shannon Sharp stuff. You got to be like Scott Van Pelt. Just stay away from the BS. Do your job to the top level. You're going to be there forever. Colin Cowherd, stay above the BS. Just do your job to the top level. You'll be there forever. Right? That's how the game goes. If you're not a top dog, then you're going to be a middle pack trying to be something that you ain't. And that means you're going to be dispensable. You're going to be disposable because we don't need that. There's 1,000 people that could come in here and all of a sudden just take on the role. We need something that's deeply authentic that moves the needle. So that's it. You can't be sitting there talking about how, oh, man, they should have spoke to me. They should have came through. I didn't even go back. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter how you take it. It's the fact that they had to give it.
Tell Ryan in the midst of the show because I don't think they wanted him to find out during the show on NFL Live on Twitter.
My thing is, we're calling, the night before and don't have him coming into work.
Correct.
Yeah.
My thing is like Ryan had a whole family. He got his home brand.
Yep.
And I think he's gonna be fine because he's a hell of a talent.
Mm-hmm.
But this could take a hit in his brand where it's like, damn, you making me look a certain way. You know what I mean? I might be the butt of the joke because you fired me while I'm at work. You could have fired me last night and saved me the trip.
Okay, let's get up out of here because I think we're going to just have more personal stories. Respect. That was a great clip. And it's longer, but that's good. Look, they did it that way because they wanted Ryan to understand, oh, yeah, we've been dealing with this. Right? What I say about every relationship, you spend half of the time breaking up. So when you look at the Ryan Clark situation, there have been breadcrumbs. There have been issues that kept adding up. Then they start multiplying to the point where now they had to fire Ryan Clark. And they do it in a way where they don't care. They don't care about all the fallout because all of the fallout is just going to make you have to say what? How many times have we said ESPN fires? ESPN did Ryan Clark dirty. ESPN is wrong. You're saying ESPN. You are putting that into the algorithm. This video is going to do numbers. Why? Because it's new, breaking news, and we talking about ESPN. I'm just giving you the inner workings because I've been there before. Obviously, I've been cut by a football team before. I've never been fired by a network. As crazy as it sounds, and as maybe people don't understand that, I've never been fired by a network. NFL Network, they didn't renew me because I wasn't a Hall of Famer. ESPN, I was looking at their deal, but Fox's deal was bigger. Fox gave me a small deal, and I just decided to go independent. Simple as that. But I do know how this goes. I do know how they do it. And they're going to do it in a way that they wanted to make the noise and make sure it says what they want it to say. So there's more videos. Let's get into it. Let's do a little bit more on this because, man, getting fired live on air. Let's show you this one. Some more of the issues, and then I'm going to get into the main one. The main one that Peter Schrager, I'm going to tell you, that was a death blow. That was a death wish right there.
Sad and tragic when I thought he died under the weight of handling the guilt that he unknowingly played a part in someone losing their lives. It's even more tragic that I know he died as an innocent man who knew he was innocent, but was dealing with the consequences of someone guilty of what he had been accused of. And let's be clear, Kyron Lacey is innocent, but on December 17th, 2 people lost their lives. Obviously, Herman Hall, and condolences and prayers to his family because this man fought in 2 Vietnam wars, and the very thing he fought for, right, which was the rights and the privileges and the due diligence of the courts as it pertains to American citizens, didn't even happen in his death. They didn't even honor him that way. It was true lies. It was true railroading. It was true framing. It was true It was Tyler Werner, the state police, who was coaching witnesses into telling them or into saying that it was Kyron's car involved in the crash. All he saw was a young black man, right? He didn't see his career, and eventually they took his life.
When you look at a guy like Joe Burrow, right, and where he is ranked.
Okay, we're going to save that one right now. So these are the last two incidents that happened with Ryan Clark. That's one of them. And the Peter Schrager is another one. Because when those occurred, let's do the Peter Schrager right now. I got to break down the elements that made the executives cringe. Okay? When you see this, then you start to understand with Ryan Clark, you really stepped in it right there doing that. It's tough because, I mean, look, nobody should kick nobody when they down, but more importantly, you know, he's good. But this is the problem, and problem is not my best word for this, but this is the dynamic of when you have a boss, when you have bosses, when it is subjective. Acho said it was objective that they were the best because they won an Emmy. No, it's subjective because some dude can wake up one morning, have a bad day, and decide that you don't have a livelihood anymore. This is why the ego of like athletes is so different than everybody else. I got to break this down. We got to talk right now. The athlete ego is different than the entertainer ego. And I've always talked about this. It's a perfect time to bring it up again. The reason why athletes have a different swagger, a different ego, a different like walk to them than even entertainers is because athletes know everything that I attained, not talking about all the single sports, but all things I attained came from my hard work, it came from my skill, and it came me competing against another man and taking his will. It's a great game of skill. It's a greater game of will. I went out there and I went mano y mano. We went team versus team. We got you. When you leave that field, that court, that moment, they can't say nothing. They can't say anything to you. Now, let's contrast that to an entertainer who, and I've been there before, auditioning for ESPN, auditioning for Fox or whatever it may be. You walk in that room, you're not competing against somebody else, not in that room. You're competing against the thoughts they have of other people. But guess what you're really doing? You on display, right? Center stage is yours. Show me. And there's no objectivity to it. They can say, oh, he's really articulate, or they can say, oh, what great personality, all that stuff. But that is a range. If you looked at all of their notes and compared them, there'd be very few through lines, very few things in common. Most things would be, I think this, oh, I thought this, oh, I thought he was too reserved. No, I thought he was fine, you know. But all of those people have you under their thumb. Remember that. We're going to talk about it right now. They have you under their thumb. That's your audience. You may think your audience is all your Twitter, all your comments, all the people that rock with you and view your show and the pivot. That ain't your audience. Your audience are those executives. And I'm about to show you, when you did this, you lost your audience, big dog. Real spit. Real spit. Where is it? Oh, there we go. This is it. This did it. This did it right here. And I'm going to tell you exactly what did it.
This morning, are you feeling, okay, you look at A.J. Brown, which is this #1 wide receiver who got one target all night, and then you got CeeDee Lamb.
But that's the,
when was the one target?
That's the target,
But
though.
I'm saying,
when was the one
I'm
target?
saying you could have it both ways.
54 seconds left in the game on 2nd and 11. It was the one target. He runs the out route.
You wake up this morning
corners
saying
got
A.J.
outside
Brown had a better day than CeeDee Lamb?
But
No,
you know what you wait.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No, A.J. Brown's team is 1-0.
Of course.
Right, like,
I mean,
like
yes,
that's what
I get it.
But the thing is this.
Okay. This is the first frame. There's joy, there's fun, there's interaction, there's inclusivity. Everyone's involved in their own personality. Greenberg is loving it because he's like, man, I got both sides rocking. Teddy is always kind of like that, even though Teddy's funny and could be lighthearted. Teddy's like, all right, let's make sure we keep this mapped into reality. I got too many rings to be playing these BS games. Orlowski is adjusting on his chair, which lets you know he all in. Like, what? What? Like, this is game day. This is as much game day as you can get wearing suits and makeup. Then there's Peter Schrager, who looks like he just walked into Walt Disney World. Like, oh my God. Like, he's at Epcot Center. He is pumped. He like, this is it. And this is what they love. They love this type of joy. Contention, but with joy. Contention, but fun contention. They love that. That's the best thing. Not that deep, dark, we going at it and boy, ooh, I wonder what they did at commercial break. Did they fight? That ain't what they want. You ain't selling no Snickers like that. Them commercials ain't selling the same. You know what I mean? They trying to sell McDonald's. They trying to sell Starburst. Nobody want to be all mad. And then there's Ryan Clark. What I always tell y'all about the elbow. The elbows tell you so much in life. That elbow's locked. That means I have real resistance to this. Okay? Whatever. I'm just giving it to you in micro dissection now. We going micro. Okay? It's already happened. And he already just got fired. So now we're going to say what happened.
So, and we shouldn't do this on TV.
This is the moment where Ryan Clark realized, look at him, listen to him. He realizes I'm about to cross the line. Now, we all know who hasn't crossed the speed limit, who hasn't went past the speed limit before. No ticket, no ticket, no ticket. You keep doing it. Who had been in the carpool lane and they by themselves in the car? Go ahead. But when you do get caught, oh, you're going to have to pay. You're going to pay for it.
And so I apologize if people think this is rude.
Whenever you got to apologize before you say it, probably, let's just say the percentages are you shouldn't say it, especially when you're working at ESPN, Disney, whatever.
That's the non-player.
Oh,
view.
stop. That's no, CeeDee Lamb is
let me tell you why.
That's the non-player in you. I told you he lost his audience. When did he lose his audience? Right then. Because guess who his audience is? Executives. And guess what they are also? You ready? Drum roll. Non-players. You just dismissed, and this is real. We know, why do people get involved in sports media when they didn't play? It's because they loved it and they just want to be close to it, but they couldn't do it. So they live vicariously through it, right? They looking at you like, man, I mean, when you meet these executives, they are so pumped to meet you. God, man, I used to watch you when I was little. Or, wow, man, some of the plays you made, I can't wait for you to come here and work with us. But you know, both ends of that rope better be held up with respect, because you know they respect you. They bringing in guys that can't even talk, but they could ball, they could play. His mumbling ass up in there in their office, and they sitting there like, boy, he could play though. So let's see if he can do this. He can't even talk. What's the subject? Huh? What's the predicate? Huh? Oh God. All right. Show starts in 10 minutes. Go get some makeup. They do that, but they know they respect you. You don't even have that many encounters with them. Well, please respect me. And more importantly, if you really want to hear a gangster, you better respect me because I got the power. Remember where you really are, under my thumb. I'm one bad morning away from trying to spread some information about you that I don't like to get the other executives on my side. You want to move many? Whisper to one. And I'm certain in that moment, one of them start whispering, if not yelling. Yo, what the hell is this?
I'm not looking at fantasy football. Ryan, I'm not, don't belittle me like that. I could come in and say, as 3 ex-players are saying one thing and give an alternative perspective that maybe CeeDee Lamb did play well. And Peter,
Greenberg just gave you the signal. Let me give it to you. Greenberg just gave you the signal. Watch Greenberg through this whole thing right here. Watch Greenberg. He like, this ain't it.
did play well. And
Peter, what I need for you to do is not get mad and let me finish for one.
Okay, go on.
It wasn't about.
Greenberg is in disbelief. Between his ears right now, he's like, yo, why are you acting so damn gangster about this? And this is why Kwame Brown is right about the go along, get along, and there are many connotations to that. So right now, if this were a real discussion, not a production, Teddy or Dan, even Mike would have said, yo, chill. The hell you doing? Like, relax. But it's not. These guys are thinking, all right, we got to be together in the next block, the B block, the C block. I got to see them tomorrow. So you're going to let them work it out, even though you know what they are doing ain't working. In reality, everybody is sitting there saying, Ryan, why are you hot 100? 2, let's just say it, Ryan, since you love to go here, one of these guys don't look like the rest. So you playing yourself from your own words, your own lens of how you look at sports, how you look at life, you playing yourself. This is like, you know, the whole angry black woman or, you know, angry black man. You are being more, I don't know if angry is the word here, but you sure are closer to it than everybody else is. You will claim that they looking at you like that, but you are actually doing exactly what you say that they're going to say you look like. That's the pretzel. That's the pretzel.
About you. It was going to be about me.
Okay.
As a player, I can't speak for CeeDee Lamb. I'm speaking for.
Woo. Blah, blah, blah. Come on now. Come on now. I mean, this is a topic. This is a big boy right here. It's unfortunate too, because that happened, and then they said this one happened last week. Let's take a little look into what happened last week, which could have led to, like, you know, sometimes you're on the fence. Obviously, he's been on the fence. His last deal, he literally had to come out in response. They're not giving me a deal. I need to be valued. I need to be respected. And then they gave him a deal. But you know that deal, if they're reluctant to give you that deal, your next one going to be tough gettings. I knew he was on thin ice. I've said it in shows before. I was like, I'm not going to try and highlight it. I'm not going to try and accelerate it. But I'm like, yeah, Ryan Clark on thin ice. Simple as that. And then they said this happened last week. And then, okay, now we got something going. And this be life. Life be life. And let's see what this is.
When you look at a guy like Joe Burrow, right, and where he is ranked, they don't take into account how much he's been injured or how little he's played, how awful his team has been as a whole. They look at Joe Burrow when he is on the field, what he has accomplished, and they rank him by that. They rank him by the feeling they get when Joe Burrow is healthy, when Jamar Chase is there, when T. Higgins is there. The same exact thing should go for Lamar Jackson. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, there is no more accomplished quarterback in the entire NFL individually. There's no quarterback who carries more than Lamar Jackson. There's no quarterback who's asked to do more than Lamar Jackson. There's no quarterback who you have to have a game plan for in the run game. You have to have a game plan for in the pass game. And then you have to have a secondary game plan for when he does Lamar Jackson type stuff.
Okay. Well, that's not accurate, but I get what he's saying. Lamar is in that rare air of guys that just can dictate terms. But Josh Allen is as well. Let's just be real. Like, let's not do that. And look, there is Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. You can start throwing other guys in there for different reasons. Joe Burrow, obviously, when healthy, is a beast. Justin Herbert doesn't get the same respect, or people don't like him the same. But if you took him off that team with their injuries to the line and to the running backs, like, yo, there's deep evaluation of Justin Herbert actually doing more than maybe all these quarterbacks, doing more, not getting better results all the time, but just having to do more. So there's a lot of that. Look, Jalen Hurts is somewhere sitting there like, yeah, boring. Another quarterback who's not getting fully respected. Welcome to my life, you know? So right now, I don't see how this is so egregious, But I do know that thin line of Ryan Clark race baiting, it may enter the picture. We still got 30 more seconds. Let's hope.
And so when you take his career as a whole, if I'm a player, the way I'm voting is this. If this dude is healthy, how much do I fear him? If this dude is healthy, how difficult is it to game plan for him throughout the week? And we talked about some of the disrespect he has gotten. That's disrespect I expected. I expected executives to not know where to place him.
I heard executives and got triggered again. Okay, keep going.
I expected marketers and brands to not understand the power of his voice. What I didn't
expect is the players to do it. Okay, I get it. Man, that's sad. Let me tell you what really happened in this dynamic, then we can be done with this topic. Beat it up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll answer some questions into the show. He cast his own net that ended up trapping him. That clip right there is going viral as this is what did it also. Peter Schrager did it for real, but he lasted almost a year after that. Now, be smart. What's coming up in a couple weeks? Football. Who's going to be doing a ton of football? ESPN, NFL Live. Peter Schrager, who's only been there for a year or so. Ryan Clark. Do you think they want to mix? Do you think they want to be together? I mean, I'm not going to put words in Peter Schrager's mouth, but I'm certain his representation is sitting there saying, we doing this again, huh? Like, because you can't unalive that. It's got its own life now. Every time you type in Peter Schrager, I'm certain one of the top 5, if not top 10 mentions is that video. And Peter Schrager, like, yo, I worked this hard. I didn't play ball. I'm this good. And I came here, and this is what you subject me to. And that was year 1. That was the honeymoon. He like, hell no. Like, I'm sure his representation and people are like, hey, bro, we doing this again? Right? And you don't even know how this split people, or you don't know how people respond or react in this apathetic world where people love and hate you, or they just remove themselves from it. But why is everyone so distant? That ain't the team concept that ESPN wants. That's not the show concept. You don't know. They could go out to dinner. Executives, man, they get their ammo from everywhere. Executive could be in Vegas. The team is doing a remote in Vegas, right? There's Peter Schrager there, and Mia Kimes there, and Dano, and Ryan Clark, they all there. And then the executive goes to Tao to have some dinner. And then he's like, oh, look at that. Mina Kimes up in here. All right, Mina, I see you. Oh, look at Dano sit down too. Oh, there go Ryan. All right. Now, they don't see him yet. He's just sitting in the cut, sipping on that old fashioned, looking. Then he's like, oh, that's it. All of them flew out there, but only all of them are there except one. Where's Peter? Oh, Peter, pop up. Where's Peter? All right, tuck it away. Go to the meeting tomorrow. You got to do all the production, pre-production, all that. Y'all walking around, you look at it. Damn, Peter and Brian ain't said one word to each other, really. Other than that fake pleasantry. Oh, what's up, dog? How you doing? It is what it is. Ryan Clark has a brand. Ryan Clark has a name. Ryan Clark has a show that does very well. The Pivot, Fred Taylor, Shannon Crowder. And Ryan Clark, what worked on ESPN won't work where Ryan Clark is, because you got to think, Ryan Clark can talk about anything now. The freedom is his. The latitude is his. I think he's going to thrive in that, but he got some acceleration. He got some nitrous. He got a boost when he was doing that. This freedom, I can talk like I want to talk, say what I want to say at Disney. You get it? You look faster when nobody moving. Nobody's doing what Ryan was doing, really. Well, Stephen A. was. Let me stop. But nobody was doing it like Ryan was doing it. And it looks that much greater and grander because nobody else is doing it. But now you're going to get on this internet fully, or wherever job he gets next. And he's certainly in position to do that. But I'm saying it's going to be a different reception to Ryan Clark doing that at Disney than what he's doing at the pivot and continuing. So, hey, man, I don't care how much we go back and forth. I don't wish ill on nobody. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate Ryan Clark. I wish him the best. Quincy Avery's very, very close to now. That's the dude because at least Ryan, I respect how he talks. I respect his game. I don't know Quincy like that. I don't know how good he works with them quarterbacks, but I'm just joking. Real spit. All right, let's keep going. Beat up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Get off this topic real quick. Let's move on. We still got a ton of topics. We're going to go to our time, and then we're going to get it in. Y'all know what we do. Oh, man. Let's talk about these Lakers. I want to talk about the Lakers. Y'all want to talk about the Lakers and they brand and they're taking the L? Some are saying the Lakers brand is in trouble. I don't know about that because I've heard that a few times. I remember in the 90s. Remember that dark era in the 90s? The Lakers in trouble. Then they get Kobe and Shaq. How much trouble were they in? After Eddie Jones and them, right? Then I heard this in the mid-2000s when Shaq left. Where the Lakers brand going? And then you heard it when Kobe retired. We'll see. Maybe this one is the real. This is the one that sticks.
Ball-obsessed market and are the best team in basketball right now. And how like New York and LA could actually switch identities where New York takes over the basketball brand. LA with the Dodgers takes over the baseball brand because the Dodgers are the best team in baseball year in and year out. But maybe it occurs to me, yes, that's the thing. They're the best team in baseball. I mean, that doesn't mean you win the World Series every year, but it means every year you have a better odds than anyone else. They just beat up the Yankees in a series, by the way. The Yankees won the last game of the series in the second half of a doubleheader, back end of a doubleheader by 1 run. Okay, like the Dodgers are doing their thing. The Rams get Myles Garrett, and they're talking about Aaron Donald coming out of retirement.
I would love to see that.
I mean, the Lakers not only have the external threat from the Knicks, they have an internal threat in LA itself, in the market itself, where they could become the number 3 brand in the market if the Dodgers continue this and the Rams you have a box at SoFi.
Yes, we do.
And I've been there
best
several
real
times.
estate in LA.
It's great. Do you notice since Myles Garrett got traded? And by the way, they also improved the secondary, right? Like they had not a good secondary. Now they got an excellent corner. And now they're talking about Aaron Donald. Have you been hit up more for different football dates at SoFi?
No, because you got to remember our box is full of people that actually love the sport. So I imagine it depends on certain games. Obviously, you get more of a axe, but people are going.
Giants.
All right, so that's gonna parlay us into this LeBron decision that he ain't rushing. LeBron's like, I'm not rushing. But what Max is talking about, and I find it interesting, Max is saying, look at the Lakers brand right now. And he's saying it in a different way than I said it when I'm like, look, in LA, that 10 freeway is gangster. It's gang related around 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m. tip-off, 7:30 p.m. tip-off. And to roll out Luka and say, okay, Luka, great as he is, insane as he is, also not there all the time. At least this year and a couple other playoff series, we've seen Luka have some issues or not be in the best of his shape, not peaking at the right time. And then who else? Austin Reeves. I think that the Lakers are going to have sellouts, but then you're going to look, the people ain't there until they see it work. And they saw it work last year in the beginning of the year when they knew LeBron was going to come in after his sciatica. But I'm saying right now, as Max is saying, it's uber competitive in LA right now. And if you roll out something second class, second tier, the Lakers struggle early, not good. Or Lakers don't look like they have championship potential, not good. It's the Lakers we talk about, right? The expectations are the Knicks, they just got over their hump. 53 years, they got over their hump. The Lakers, are they going to get back to another one of those droughts? That'll be the 4th drought, whatever you want to call it, drought, for the Lakers since the 90s. The 4th one where you could be like, yeah, they take these down swings and then they take these up swings. Simple as that. So now let's get into this where LeBron is being rushed. People want to rush LeBron in his decision. Adam Silver being that person. Adam Silver
guys
just said
saying
it.
what they think. No one, I'll say it again. None of these people know anything. Nobody knows nothing. And I say that respectfully because we haven't made it to where anybody knows anything.
But let me take your temperature on something.
Sure. But no, let me finish first.
Okay,
Let me finish. So I think it's important for people to understand we're not making this about attention and a spectacle. It's not about a decision or anything like that. He has.
Okay. It is about a decision. You got to make a decision. But I know what he's saying. He's like, yo, why is everybody always thinking that since it's taking us a little more time to do this, that we are actually looking out, we're attention whores, or we out here for the attention grab. Like, one, that's senseless, y'all. LeBron's gonna get attention no matter what LeBron does. I saw LeBron acting like he was in a rap video at the Jay-Z concert, and that went viral. And because he was doing the gunshots and he was acting out all the words. Oh, when you're LeBron, you can't act out all the words, but meanwhile, we all can do it, right? So LeBron, for us to say LeBron wants attention, I think we projecting a little bit because this dude can do nothing and get attention. Nothing and get attention. So I hear you.
He has a choice to make. He has a business choice to make. We're not going to sit here and decide or allow someone else to decide when he makes that decision or that choice. It's a business choice that he's making. And I think as an athlete, why is it that an athlete has to rush his choice?
Okay, I want to answer that.
Oh, that is beautifully stated. It's so hard to get in a position of power or influence to the point where you are making somebody wait. Think about it. Like Aaron Donald's in an amazing place right now where his services are still requested and he done retired from playing D-line. That's insane. You know how good you have to be for them to say, oh, can you go in the gym for a few months and come back and play some games? So when you got the hammer, swing it. When you LeBron, they not giving this to everybody. They rushing some guys out there. They calling up right now. Hey, we got this vet minimum deal. You want it? You got to tell me right now. If you don't tell me right now, it's over. Okay. You want it? Okay, good. We got you. All right. We'll be in touch. That's how some calls go. So when the call doesn't go that way and you're calling, is LeBron there? Oh, this voicemail. Hey, LeBron, this is such and such team. Can you give us a call? We're waiting. Adam Silver. Hey, Bron. Oh, this voicemail. Like, dog, you earned that position. They not giving this out. If I'm LeBron and he can't say this, as we just went through that clip with Peter Schrager, people can't say what they really want to say, which is LeBron should be like, Adam, wait. And I know Adam like, man, wait for what? You know, there's money on the line and I got to get this contract, this TV schedule out. Come on, man. And LeBron like, do it. Don't wait for me. Somebody else is trying to serve their interests. Adam Silver's trying to serve the interests of the NBA as he should because he's getting paid to do that. But he's also trying to make sure he's not on the hook for messing up the schedule and messing up the year, right? So you selfishly are looking out for you, Adam, as you should. Guess who else is? LeBron, as he should.
From a business perspective, you were making a choice between jobs, high-level jobs, and you've earned the right. You're a big-time executive that's with an unbelievable, arguably the best resume in the history of your job. Who's rushing you?
Okay.
Nobody.
Hold on. Let me make a statement about that, and I want to get your take. On the one hand, you're absolutely right. It's not, I mean, it is his fault in a way, but LeBron is still achieving at such a high level that the league is kind of stuck until he makes a decision.
Well, then you stuck. Sorry. Look, I don't know what you guys have climbed in terms of profession or achievement, but let's use music as an example. Like the top producers. Remember when it was a day, obviously Dr. Dre, still to this day, right? Pharrell to this day, right? There was a Scott Storch moment and it's still big time. Do you know how they roll? Look at the Michael movie. I think we all saw that. Quincy Jones. You know what I mean? Like to get with Barry Gordy. Like when you got around them, it was on their time and they were going to move at their speed. And they telling Michael Jackson, Lil Mike, stop dancing, just sing. You know what I mean? Because they got the hammer. So they swinging it. Now, when Michael had the hammer, He walking around telling him like, yeah, call MTV. Tell them put my video on. Oh, they don't want to? Make sure they do. Like, this is all about who got the grip on the hammer. Pause. But seriously, who can swing it? And we have been so brainwashed and we are so desensitized from the institution, the entity, the commissioner being able to swing it, and we just got to deal with it, that whenever we see a player finally swing it back, what are you doing? I mean, it sounds like slavery. It sounds like it's a slave. It's like, what are you doing? You can't do that. You can't wait until the summer to make a decision. You know, LeBron like, why I can't? I'm not doing it for no other reason, but I don't know what I want to do yet. Why can't I? Go. Because everyone's waiting on you. Well, then wait. Y'all wouldn't wait on me unless y'all had to wait on me. So y'all have to wait. It's so crazy. I love it. Look, whether he's doing it on purpose or just naturally, who cares? The fact is, do you do all this analysis when it's Adam Silver taking his time? Well, we're going to make a decision on the Clippers and they're gambling and they're, you know, them doing under the table deals. We'll get to that. Where them deadlines at?
But it is his decision to make. He's entitled to take as long as he wants.
I'm using the word choice because I want to use the word choice because people try to make this about a spectacle or tie this in.
I want to address that, but like one at a time.
It's his choice.
One at a time. Okay, let's start with his right to take his time to make the proper decision. You know, sometimes people confuse the idea on the one hand of taking your time, being deliberate, measuring twice and cutting once. So you arrive at the best possible conclusion.
Yep.
They confuse that with, well, a lack of commitment. No, he's figuring out to whom he will be committed and what he wants to do. I understand that. On the other hand, Rich, you have made this point many times. He is still the face of the league. And as the face of the league, you talk about it, and it's true. In a way, you're in a business partnership. Adam Silver, the commissioner, has come out and said, as a matter of fact, listen to what Adam Silver had to say.
We have to finish up the schedule.
Right.
And where LeBron plays will affect the schedule. So I would like him to make his announcement already so we can finish the schedule because, as you might imagine, the teams are calling us, the networks are calling us, and everybody wants to lock in the schedule. But it will influence how we set the schedule, how we set opening week, Christmas Day, etc. So I need him to make a decision.
So this is something that you have said, Rich. You said,
wait, Max, I thought no.
It almost sounded like he was like trying to chum up to Bron, like, hey, buddy, hey, can you help me out here? Like, dog, we doing business over here. Chill.
Nobody cared about LeBron.
No, but clearly they do. The point is that you have said that part of being the face of the league is these are your business partners.
Yes.
Adam Silver is coming out and saying what you said. You were like, hey, the TV schedule changes.
Yes.
So there is an element where on the one hand, you're 100% right. LeBron this is his choice. On the other hand, to be a good partner, the commissioner of the league is saying, hey, you do have, just as you've mentioned, Rich, this enormous influence on our TV schedule. There are people waiting on you. There is a case there that he does need to.
I saw Adam in New York and we discussed it. And like I said, it's still his choice. So if he doesn't really know, can't rush it.
Thank you. Like Occam's razor. The simple answer is the answer most times, right? Anything you're going through, you're trying to figure out what's right from wrong, real from fake. Truth is simple, lies are complex. When you hear some crazy stories, like what? Chances are you probably shouldn't believe it. Because it would be way simpler than that. Because we all know that typically, if you're doing the right things, that your actions will map on to what you have seen and heard. When it's not that, and you got to be like, really? I didn't know that. What? All that? You might be on a ghost trail. More times than not, you actually are. And you know that from your own experiences. You'd be like, I knew that was crazy. Right? At the end of it, you'd be like, I knew that was crazy. Simply put, LeBron doesn't know yet. You can say, well, he gotta know. He gotta know. How you know? I've seen people in line in front of me at Popeyes taking 20 minutes. man, do I want a number 3 or 4? And you sitting there like, I ain't about to say nothing to this dude because I don't know if this dude gonna snap. He need his food. But God dang, dog, hurry up. You don't believe me? I'm gonna show you a video right now. Somebody who is really on one, like, you are tripping. You are tripping, Bron. You know damn well what you want to do. Mad at him because he don't know what he want to do.
I just don't sense that they're sitting there waiting around for LeBron to make his decision of where he's going to, when they've done it 4 times. It's not like they haven't done it before. He took forever with the decision. He went back to Cleveland, Lee Jenkins of Sports Illustrated. Then he goes to LA. Now we're back in the situation again. I mean, to me, it's a little wearing.
You know what's funny about this? One, all of those are not this. I love when people are like, you've done it before. I ain't did this before. I've done it before. I haven't done this before. There's a big difference between it and this, right? I done broke up before in a relationship before. Never been divorced. You know what I mean? Like, I've done it before. Come on. People don't get stuff. So, 2, they mad at LeBron still. You can hear it. People still mad at LeBron for the decision. The decision. What was that, 08, whatever, 09? They're mad at 2010. They mad at LeBron for that decision. But now they are throwing logs in a fire that they creating, that they have self-started to create the same energy of the decision. Why? Because we all were locked in, because we know that drove attention and revenue, and people were making money off of just talking about where LeBron may go, may not go. They doing it again, and then gonna blame LeBron for taking his time to do it. Oh, we wouldn't have had to do this to you, LeBron, if you would have told us earlier. What? What are you talking about? You gaslighting me? Talking about I'm the reason why y'all waiting. Who is unsigned right now? Who I just see? Victor Oladipo, right? Did they sign him yet? Because he had that sick workout I saw. Great workout. Y'all waiting on Victor? No. So then what the hell? Well, you ain't Victor and you LeBron. I know. I earned that. So now you just answered the question. Wait, I'm LeBron. LeBron the fine girl. She too fine. You like, man, she always late. And she always fine.
As a sports fan, wake me up when it's over. Now, that's the way I feel about it. A lot of people feel differently. Hey, you know what? He's LeBron James, big star. A lot of teams. He's on Fan Addicts. He's talking to Djokovic. And we can have some, you can milk it all you want. That to me, I don't like that from a sports fan's perspective, because that to me is just doing it from a PR perspective. He's made his mind up already. Wait, you don't think he's made his mind up? What's going to happen in the next 10 days? What didn't happen in the next 10 days? He hasn't made his mind up.
Well, he's been doing
that LeBron doesn't know.
Well, he's been doing stuff. He's been doing stuff from a PR perspective since 2010. But I hear you.
And that's the problem.
Boy, this resentment is real. 2010 stuff. I told you. I didn't even know he was going to say that. 2010. They still mad at this dude. Dog, I never want to be at a party that I'm not invited to, that I'm not wanted. And I'm serious. I've always been this way. After I told y'all that one time my boy stood me up in high school, Ralston, shout out to my boy RT. When he did that, I immediately lost all ambition ever to go somewhere I'm not wanted. Why is that important? Because it helps me actually navigate. If somebody don't want to rock with me, dog, you have no resistance from me. I have no fighting that dog. You know what I mean? That dog ain't hunting nothing. You don't want to rock, bye. You feel me? Stephen A knows he needs LeBron for his show, all that. The industry needs LeBron because he's LeBron. I know. But then we all know that. And I'm not trying to sun you. That's good. Here's the problem. Don't try and take it out on the dude you need. You mad at him for being him? You should, if anything, if you want to be mad, because you sound like you got to be mad dog, be mad at yourself because he got you under his thumb, not the way you really want it.
Problem there, Steve. See, that's the problem. And fans don't want to hear about PR. Jordan never did this stuff.
It's a different age.
Well, why is it different? You just don't do it.
It's just
a
different age. There's a lot more that comes with it. There's a lot more things that come along with it.
When did he announce that he was leaving the Lakers?
A month ago.
A month ago. It's taken him a month to figure out where he's going to play.
Well, a month ago, we didn't think teams like Philadelphia, Minnesota. I didn't know. We thought Cleveland, maybe staying in LA, maybe the Warriors. I mean, all these different teams have kind of emerged with the Jaylen Brown trade.
The Jaylen Brown trade happened when?
A month ago, but still, like, there are things to weigh here. Go ahead, Wendy.
She tried to bring some rationale, some sanity to it. And they like, nope, don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Look, I know it's theater. I'm certain that if you grab a brew with Mad Dog or Stephen A., they like, man, hey, it's good. Like every day we get to talk about LeBron is a good day in sports media, right? Like just being real. They're not over there set tripping. But at the same time, golly, it's like they're really not in real life set tripping. We know they're not tripping. But look how they brand damage LeBron for their own services, for their own doings and their own benefits. Weird world we living in right now. Weird world. All right, y'all. We got some other topics still to talk about. We got Draymond Green responding to critics if LeBron joined him. Let's do that. Since we talking LeBron, it's a good day. I want to see what Draymond gonna say about people. They said people are clowning Draymond like, if LeBron come there, what you gonna do? So let's see what Draymond got to say about that. Draymond like, shoot, make my job easier. Some saying, yeah, because you ain't gonna have the job.
Man, it'll be Bron, and I'm gonna be PJ Tucker and go become the greatest corner 3-point shooter ever. Number one, the people that start coming out of the woodworks like PJ Tucker, great 3-point shooter, you better go check PJ Tucker's corner 3-point shooter. PJ Tucker probably led the NBA in corner 3-point shooting percentage for maybe 6 years in a row. And it wasn't like, oh man, he edged somebody out at 41%. Man, dude was shooting like 56% from corner 3 at times throughout his career. You know, and so incredible corner 3-point shooter. Won't be tolerating any PJ Tucker corner 3-point shooting disrespect here.
So basically he's saying people trying to say that as a diss and he's trying to prop it up because potentially that may be his role. But even if that is my role, that's a fresh role. Y'all ignorant.
But no, what I was getting at with that was like, yo, if you got LeBron James and Steph Curry in the pick and roll, like, yeah, I'll always have that ability to go get in the pick and roll and make some plays. But if you got LeBron James and Steph Curry in a pick and roll, motherfucker, you better go find a role. You better go find a spot so you can be valuable. And so if those two guys are in pick and roll, for me, the most valuable spot's going to be for me is to be in the corner. I think so oftentimes you idiots think like, oh man, like it's actually the problem in the NBA where y'all like, oh man, this guy can do this, he can do that. There are roles. And
you know what? He is speaking game right now because all these NBA dudes, let's just go back to how it all began, AAU or high school, whatever it may be, rec league. They all, like the ones that we talk about are all the ones that can go get it. They can score, the ball in hand, typically. And as you climb, you start to realize, yeah, I can go get it, but damn, he can get it even better. Pause. Like, I'm 6'3" doing it. He's 6'6" doing it. He's 6'9" doing it. They're going to let 6'9" do it. Then you meet the 7-footer who could do it too. So, I mean, that's when you start finding roles for yourself. You know, there's been times my son is the fastest on the team, and he's like one of the biggest. The reason I bring that up is because even though he's the fastest, he's not the best ball handler, but he could handle the ball with his speed enough where he should handle it more. But why I don't complain is because he's learning what all these guys have to learn, unless you're one of the 10, 20 guys in the league who just put a team on your back. 430 dudes in the NBA is off ball, let it somebody else create, and then you do yours. Catch and shoot, penetrate, right? Elbow, jumper. Like they ain't letting everybody just get the ball and do SGA. You got to be off ball, moving, getting at it. So I'm like, he's learning it in reverse. And hopefully then he gets older, it adds up. But you got to just look how you got to reverse engineer it. I love Draymond for saying that. He like, dog, my role is based on what's needed. If they don't need me to do that, my ego ain't going to make me, I can't get to pick and roll, pick and pop, picture.
If you cannot figure out how to play a role, you usually fail. And so for me, I know what spot would be open is the corner. So you go to the corner and you knock them down. That's what I was getting at. No more, nothing less. I also learned over the weekend that you can pretty much say anything on the internet and people are going to believe it.
Yeah.
It is an interesting world we live in. You know, every day I look at those things, I'm like, wow, people are just not smart at times.
What's wrong? What happened?
It's interesting to see the things that people say on these social media sites or the things that people believe. 2 + 3 = 5. It's crazy. It's
2 + 3 is 5. No, he trying to say my saying 2 + 2 is something between 3 and 5. Maybe that.
It's really crazy. Steve Kerr goes, "We got him." Everybody's like, "Oh, Steve Kerr knows something." Like, man, do y'all not realize that people say jokes? I learned a lot on Threads this weekend, but you people y'all are interesting. And we wrapped up our weekend, got to take my son to the World.
Oh, you went to World Cup. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to get into that Tom Brady, Jason Whitlock, and Tom Brady not acting like a GOAT next. And that might do the show for us. Here's the thing. People do believe anything. People thirsty. And they blame you because they thirsty. You walk by all that water and you mad because you thirsty and you want what I got. Right? Simple as that. And that's what Draymond is saying. Like, people crazy. But then at the same time, remember, never forget, social media is not the world. It is not the world. It's a world you opt into. It's an app you can activate. You can get into it. But it's not the world. I'm walking around here right now thinking and knowing that social media is not the world. I'm in headlines right now. Literally, I was in Las Vegas this weekend golfing and relaxing and recharging and recalibrating. Guess what? That ain't the world. The world doesn't know or doesn't care. Or they know or they don't care or they don't know. And then most people don't know. There are 8 billion people in this world. And these social media apps and all that, they got 1 billion or 2 already, down from 8 to 2 billion. That's a lot of people. Then and there, how many people following you? How many people rock with you? How many people know Draymond, know me, etc.? So I love the fact that he's like, you got to separate the two, because I think a lot of people think social media is life. And I know people make money off it and entertainment. I'm not trying to dismiss that. I'm just saying, when something happens on social media, just tap yourself and remember, that ain't real life. That ain't real life. All right, let's get to this. See what Whitlock talking about. Everybody always saying every time, why y'all do Whitlock and stuff? Dog, if it ain't on my algorithm and it ain't viral, it ain't going on this show. Dog, I don't know everything happening in this world. I don't. I gotta wait for it to pop up, and when it pops up, I'm ready for it. So this one popped up. Glad it did. It's a good topic. I've been wondering the same thing. What's going on with Tom Brady? What is this? Am I headed to this? Is this a midlife crisis? Let's go.
Michael Jordan understood something Tom Brady doesn't. Absence creates myth. After basketball, MJ didn't chase relevance. He withheld it. The Air Jordan brand does $6 billion a year.
Damn.
Jordan barely speaks publicly. When he does, it's an event. NBC paid Jordan, $60-70 million for one interview, one really boring, bad interview. The lesson, Jordan monetized his greatness by protecting it. He built an ecosystem that works while he stays silent. Scarcity is the strategy.
Okay. I don't know how he's going to continue this or finish this, but I do know that there's a different backdrop to attention and to relevancy now than it was back then. Back then is the era of keep your nose to the ground, keep your head down, and just keep working. So it was easier for you to distance yourself. It was easier to be far removed and get the benefits still. But now we're in the attention currency, right? And to do it big, people got to see a lot of you, a lot of it. I give it to you like this. Is Kevin Hart the best comedian there is? He's funny as hell. That last special was really funny. He's funny, but is he the best comedian? Most would say no. But it doesn't matter because that's not what's being asked now. When we grew up, at least me, it was being asked, who's funnier, Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy? And then you'd be like, oh man, this one. You know what Kevin Hart does? He's everywhere. So even if you don't think he's the funniest, you're like, yo, he must be the biggest draw. He must be the biggest one. I can't go anywhere without seeing him. LeBron James, the way he handles his relevancy and legacy, he everywhere. He talking about all things. He being everywhere he wants to be. I just think that it was a switch in climate, a switch in backdrop. And maybe that's why Tom Brady is like, oh, you got to be everywhere to be the big dog. His money is his money. The Raiders, just his piece he bought in the Raiders is insane. It already done what? Triple, quadrupled already. The little chunk he bought in the Raiders, big chunk. So I just think it's a different animal now.
Jordan doesn't need the camera. The camera needs Michael Jordan. That's power. Brady is doing the opposite. He's everywhere. The Fox booth, widely paying, the functional beverage hawking, the crypto entanglement, the roast, and now bits with influencers half his age.
Don't forget, though, you're right. You're accurate in terms of assessment. But don't forget, Tom Brady was bottled up when he played. Tom Brady was so locked in that he didn't do all these things that he's doing now, almost like Arrested Development. Like, you know, he missed his childhood. He in the league locked in, like next level. And now I'm thinking, and then he gets divorced. Oh, he outside. He like, what? What am I doing? Like, I only get one life. And guess what? My life is I'm Tom Brady. So I'm contrasting what Jason is saying, not even arguing it, just giving you another layer to look at on the side, which is when you're Tom Brady, life's pretty good. Why be a prisoner of your success? You can look at Michael Jordan and easily say, man, if I were Michael Jordan, I'd be outside more. You know what I mean? I'll be doing more things, but Michael Jordan's doing what Michael Jordan wants to do. And it's worked out wonderfully. Will this work out for Tom Brady? Wonderfully. He still got his $300-some million Fox deal. He still got the Raiders. That's hundreds and hundreds of millions. Like, he still is look like he's having fun. He's putting a middle finger up to people. Literally, too. He did this. He's basically like, yo, can I live? That's a lot to be locked into your sport that sooner or later is going to end. You're going to have a football death. And then your marriage and your family life, you have to go through that breakup. I'm outside.
There's nothing wrong with a man making money. The question is, what's he trading for it? It's all just incredibly weird. Tom Brady wants to be Pat McAfee, a punter turned content creator. I get it. McAfee makes $60 million a year now, or is going to, but he's not Tom freaking Brady. Some people will say Brady is lost since his retirement. No, I think he's been lost since he and Giselle separated in 2022. She's winning the divorce. He's losing and losing it. It's like Brady wants Mike Tyson's post-career legacy. Maybe Brady will sleep with a lion in the next Hangover movie or tattoo half his face. We love Mike Tyson, but we also giggle at him behind his back. I never laugh at Michael Jordan. We simply revere him. Could you imagine Jordan associating himself with a brand called Good Nut?
Pause. All I want to say is just give Brady enough freedom to be Brady, man. I mean, we obviously know this is in contrast to what we've seen for all those years. And one thing I've always been perplexed by is that when people have so much and have it all, as we say, why they use so little of it. Like, these superstars seem like they are trapped in their own cages. They don't want to go nowhere. They're tired of people. They're tired of paparazzi. They start to act a little different or weird. They're real short. They don't want to look up. They always got to be around some entourage. Like, damn. Like, it's to see Tom Brady throw up the middle finger in some seats made me say, damn, Brady, you really going far. And then at the same time, I was like, that's kind of good for somebody of his stature to just be like, I ain't tripping. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Real spit.
The coconut water brand Brady is pitching. Brady is channeling the wrong Mike. He's choosing the formerly behind Iron Mike rather than like Mike. You remember, be like Mike.
Blah, blah, blah. Look, let him be him. Simple as that. Let him be him. Because that's Tom Brady now. This is new Tom Brady. He outside, he dating, he hanging. he being him. I got to show y'all this one. This is kind of funny, and then we out of here. We're going to be out of here on time, too. I ain't milking this. 5 teams in the NFL that have no chance. They say no chance to winning the Super Bowl. All right. Beat it up in the comments right now. Let me know who you think. What are those 5 teams that have no chance to win the Super Bowl? Before I show you this video. This is hilarious. It is hilarious.
These are the 5 NFL teams that have no chance of winning the Super Bowl next season. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. As long as Jerry Jones is running the show, I just don't see this team winning a Super Bowl. At best, they'll sneak into the playoffs and get bounced in the first round. Number 4.
Okay. Can't argue that. Like they're going to be good, but not great, and then get into the playoffs, and then it's a wrap. I get it. Okay. Let's see what number 4 is.
The Dallas Cowboys. On paper, this roster is loaded. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, there's talent everywhere. But every year, they somehow find a way to be less than the sum of their part. Number 3.
Okay. I hear you. You're doubling down on it. All right, enough. All right, there's other teams out there. Where the Raiders at? And some other teams out there. Let's keep going. Come on.
The Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys fans saying this is our year has become the biggest tradition in football. It's been over 3 decades since the last Super Bowl, yet somehow the confidence gets louder every offseason. Number 2.
Okay. Number 2. I missed the timing of it, but it's the Cowboys again, I think. You think? Or is it the Eagles right there?
The Dallas Cowboys. Until they prove otherwise, the Cowboys are all hype. They're like a Netflix series with an amazing trailer that always has a disappointing ending. Every year it's just wait until next season. Number 1, the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys have mastered one thing, winning the offseason. Every summer they're crowned contenders, and every winter they're making excuses.
Y'all stop. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go. The questions, what were the questions y'all asked about Ryan Clark earlier? Let's get that in. Let me just sum it up and let you know. Obviously, I don't like race baiting. I don't like what Ryan Clark got entangled in. And I think that's what the writing on the wall was about. The race baiting, because you got to see how that lands for real. I know that you're thinking about how it lands with your people when you're taking up for your people and, the disenfranchised, whatever it may be in messaging. But you got to remember that comes with opposition, right? Just think, if you're a white person hearing Ryan Clark do some of that analysis when he does it, you're like, what that got to do with me? Now, imagine if you're an executive with power and you know Ryan Clark is under your thumb, you like, you talking about me? You talking about we? Oh. Like, just be real. And that's why on top of that reason, which is just not logical, not rational, the worst part is you're actually disabling the people you're trying to help by saying, we need this help. Need what help? You need objective truth. I don't need no help. I need you to listen to the real. So our beef started off with me just telling Khyree Richardson, who ran track, who I'm a fan of, way back, I know how drug testing works in track and field, my favorite sport. I'm a national record holder in track and field, excuse me. Won the nationals in track and field before, excuse me. I felt qualified to tell her, hey, what you doing? It's too difficult to make it to where she is. It's too hard to get to the Olympics. And you're going to trick that off once in every 4 years. Y'all don't have a lot of cycles where you get 3 to 5, depending on who you are. max, 4 max, you're going to trick that off for marijuana. And then whether it was an excuse or reason, you say it's because of your mother and all that stuff. I'm like, that's what started Ryan Clark and I having issues. And it wasn't from me. I said my take. He heard my take and decided he wanted to go across the bow in a public forum and tweet. So in that respect, I'm always going to respond to Ryan Clark when I see stuff, and he going to respond to me. But when I see somebody get fired, ain't no smiles, ain't no love for that. Right? Can't be. First of all, here come the joke. I need him to work so I can have some material to talk about. I don't watch the pivot enough to be doing that. You know what I mean? He don't race pander as much on the pivot, or it doesn't hit the same. I don't know. No, just kidding. It's almost like this was self-defeating. And look, it works for a while. This reminds me of, all right, I'm gonna leave on this and then answer your questions. This reminds me of growing up when cats used to do the weird stuff, like the gangbanging, the drug dealing, the chasing the girls when we 15, you know what I mean? Like chasing them, like outside, like ditching school. You know that ain't gonna last. You know that's not a sustainable model. You know it ain't it. But it's so tempting because it's so mesmerizing, because it is captivating, because you get audience. If you are drug dealing, people gonna think you fresh because you're gonna have some money, a little bit of power. If you gangbanging, you're gonna be thought of as fresh because you tough, you ain't scared of nobody. Everybody gotta be scared of you. And if you chasing the girls, oh man, look who he dating, look who he hanging with. Meanwhile, you are off the track of what you really could have been. And that's what my message is for Ryan Clark. Because I met him day one. He can't act like I didn't. I was the first person he met at ESPN, probably. Why? Because I'm personable. And I saw him in the damn cafeteria day one. I was like, oh, what you doing here? Oh, man, I'm about to start working here and all this stuff. All right, Stringer Bell. What he could have been at ESPN. Because I ain't even ashamed to say this. I don't think anybody at ESPN, McAfee, I don't think anybody else at ESPN, I'm trying to think, is more talented than Ryan Clark. I really don't. You ain't gonna make me say it just so I can win a beef. I'm gonna win a beef regardless because I got jokes and I tell the truth. It ain't hard to win beefs. I can't think of right now, no one, and I know, say the names. Nope. Ryan goes. But where he went, he didn't have to go. Now he gone. All right, y'all. Let me answer a couple of these questions. I'm out of here. Oh, y'all ain't got no questions. Y'all ain't got no questions. Y'all over there just chopping up. All right. Love y'all, man. Have a great day. I know I will. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, man. Hey.